Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is Pauper the best format for brewing? The answer is fuck no! Alright, what's going on guys? And today, I'm going to introduce you to one of the best Magic the Gathering formats that you probably aren't playing, Penny Dreadful. It's a format played on Magic Online, in which the only cards that are legal are cards that cost 0.01 tickets, or 1 penny in US dollars. Alright, now, first off, I feel like I need to dispel a misconception about the format right off. Penny Dreadful is not at the same power level as Pauper. It's much more powerful. Many people think that because the cards are only a penny and that the decks only cost a ticket or two, the cards in the format must be even weaker than Pauper. You are sorely mistaken. I mean, look, would you find Underworld Cerberus in Pauper? A 5-mana 6/6 with Super Menace and some crazy graveyard shenanigans? Yeah, no, not gonna happen. What about Cataclysmic Gearhulk, Mirari, Malfigure? Are these the types of cards you'll find in Pauper? What about Inverter of Truth, Smokestack, and Grimgrin Corpseborn? No, of course not. You wouldn't see any of these in Pauper. And you wanna know why? Because they're rare and mythics. That's why. Obviously, these cards aren't very exciting if you play Modern, but the point I'm making is that the power level is much higher than people think. People who don't play Penny Dreadful seem to think that the format is all giant spiders and grizzly bears. That is incorrect. Currently, the format contains 2,711 rares. 2,700, guys. That's a ton of rares and a ton of power. And there's also 63 mythics. That's right, 63 mythics worth a penny and legal in Penny Dreadful. So there's actually a lot of power here. And again, they aren't Modern level playables, but they're certainly way more powerful than anything you'll see in Pauper. I mean, currently, just as a comparison, there are 10,758 legal cards in Penny Dreadful. There are 12,004 Modern legal cards, 6,300 Pauper legal cards, and 1,200 standard legal cards. So yeah, there are a lot of cards. It's actually pretty close to the same size as Modern, just without all the crazy degenerate nonsense that drives the cost of the average deck up to several hundred tickets per deck. So pretty cool. You get all the versatility of Modern without, having to pay $1,000 for a deck. Pretty nice. So moving on from what's in the format, I want to explain to you why this format is such a brewer's paradise. Because that's what this is. It is the best possible format for brewers, particularly when compared to Pauper. You see, the problem with Pauper is that it is a very traditional format. It has a strong metagame and established decks, which are clearly the most powerful decks in the format. And while it's still possible to brew decks, the fact that the power level of the established tier 1 decks are so high and the average power level of the cards are so low, it has become very difficult to effectively brew against the top decks in the format. It's become an uphill battle, and if you want my honest opinion, Pauper has become kind of stagnant. The top decks are just getting old, and because it's all commons, you just don't get enough good stuff coming into the format quickly enough to change up the metagame. So it just gets old. It gets old really fast. It's gotten old super fast. I've been playing Pauper for like 3 years and it's like, I'm just kind of over it. With Penny Dreadful, that is completely different. You see, when a deck establishes itself as a popular deck in Penny Dreadful, it immediately drives itself into illegality. Since the only legal cards in the format are cards that cost a penny, when a lot of people buy cards of a popular deck, the price of those cards go up, and then they become illegal due to their popularity. That means that the format is constantly in flux, constantly shifting, and you can never assume that any deck is the best in the format. It's not, because as soon as a deck becomes the best deck in the format, it becomes illegal due to the fact that the price goes up. Now, to some people, that might not sound very appealing. Maybe you would prefer to copy and paste a deck and play competitive matches, and that's fine. If you want to just, net deck and play competitively, by all means, you can play Pauper, you can play Modern, you can play whatever format you want. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not criticizing that. There's nothing wrong with being a competitive player. There's nothing wrong with net decking. But Penny Dreadful is a place for brewers. It is a brewer's paradise, as I've said. Penny Dreadful is the ultimate brewer's paradise. It is the format for people who want to brew decks and for people who want to test that particular skill. So yes, if you want an established metagame and well-defined tier 1 decks, Penny Dreadful is not the format for you. Stick to Pauper, stick to Modern, that's fine. But if you like brewing decks, if you like crazy decks, if you like a constantly shifting metagame, if you want to be playing against a different deck every week, if you want to be playing with a different deck every week, Penny Dreadful, that's the place to go. It's amazing. Now, at this point, you might be questioning how the format works. If all the cards cost a penny, how can you possibly build a deck that isn't illegal 10 minutes later? Well, the format actually rotates by season. Each season, the Penny Dreadful Magic website analyzes the prices of cards, and any card that is consistently at 1 penny over the course of a few days becomes legal in the format with the next season. So after that analysis, the format becomes set, it's locked in place, it's set in stone, and that is the Penny Dreadful format for the next 3 or 4 months. And then you get 3 or 4 months of brewing in an entirely new format that no one has ever seen before. People brew decks, there's all kinds of chaos and craziness as people just try different things, and you know, over the course of 3 or 4 months, strong decks will establish themselves, and then you will see metagame decks that counter those decks, and then popular decks will fall out of favor for the new decks, and so on and so forth. And after a few months of that just kind of crazy chaos, the format completely resets itself. All those popular decks probably went up in price by a few cents, so every single popular card that was being played in a lot of decks gets basically banned from the format, and it starts all over again. A whole new format every few months. So yeah, it's like I said, it is a brewer's goddamn paradise. It's beautiful. I can't say it enough. If you like brewing, this is the format for you. It's great. It's really, really good. Oh, and we didn't even talk about the best part. The cards cost a frickin' penny. A penny, dude. I mean, it's a penny. A deck costs like 50 cents. And that's assuming that you don't already have the cards in your collection. I've built decks for free because I already had all the cards. So while it is true that the decks that you build will become illegal in a month or two, the decks cost almost nothing. And almost nothing is a small price to pay for a format that gives you unlimited brewing potential. So if you like brewing, don't play Pauper, play Penny Dreadful. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe anything that I've said in this video, well, I have fantastic news for you. I'm going to be playing the format in the next Magic Online series on this channel. In just a few days, I'm going to post a full deck tech video, and then over the next several days, I'll be posting the results of a Penny Dreadful league that I will play with that deck. So you can see for yourself. You can see how powerful the format is. You should see a few crazy decks. Should be pretty fun. Also, if you want to try the format yourself, I will definitely post a full step-by-step guide on how to play. So look forward to that in the future as well, but that will definitely be another video. Look forward to a Magic Online series with Penny Dreadful. Look forward to a guide if you need it, and in the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.